Back in 1985, Nintendo released the console we all know and love, the Nintendo Entertainment System. Ah, such great memories with the toaster, blowing on the cartridges, catching them on the edge, replacing corroded pins. Alright, so maybe the NES wasn't brilliantly designed, but it worked and people loved it. The NES came out in 1985, but its incarnation in Japan, the Famicom, was released 2 years earlier in 1983. During the 2-year span between the two systems, Nintendo was trying to find a way to bring the Famicom over to the United States. Lance Barr was hired to redesign the Famicom for America, and here is his first design. This is the Advanced Video System. It premiered in 1984 at the Consumer Electronics Show. It had a keyboard, zapper gun, controllers, joystick, and even a cassette player. What? Not to mention, all the controllers were wireless, thanks to infrared technology. While people were impressed with the Advanced Video System, no one wanted to purchase it. Remember, this was right after the video game crash, so memories of Atari were still fresh in people's minds. Luckily, the NES was redesigned to look like the toaster, given Rob the Robot, and sold as a toy. You can view this unique system at the Nintendo World Store in Rockefeller Plaza, New York City, as well as many other interesting items from Nintendo's past. While researching Super Mario Bros. 2, I was going over the original manual when I stumbled across this. The first thing I noticed is they confused Birdo with Ostro. But the second discovery was even more interesting. He thinks he is a girl and he spits eggs from his mouth. Well, wait a minute. He? That's right. According to the original manual, Birdo is actually a dude. This is also true in Japan, where Birdo is known as Catherine. This would make Birdo, as far as I know, the very first transsexual video game character. Today, Nintendo pokes fun at the gender confusion of Birdo. She's actually a character in the game Captain Rainbow, which is only out in Japan, but in the game she speaks with a male voice, and gets thrown in jail for walking into the women's bathroom. I think it's pretty safe to say that today, Nintendo feels Birdo is a female, even if they poke fun at her every once in a while.
Game Quickie.
Today we're talking about Balloon Fight, one of the original NES launch titles. Even though the game is 24 years old, it's still one of the greatest on the system. Ported over from the arcades, this game plays like Joust and Mario Brothers combined. You're a small guy with two big balloons trying to pop other people's balloons. Once you pop them, you gotta knock them out before they get airborne again, all while dodging lightning, flippers, and the big fish. Tasty. After you down an enemy, a bubble comes up, netting you extra points. Kinda like the coins in Mario Brothers. You can also enter one side of the screen and come out the other. Kinda like Mario Brothers. The game has a distinct Nintendo graphics style that was so rampant in early launch titles, and the music is some of the best on the platform. If you exhaust the single player out, you can always play with a friend in two-player co-op mode. That's right, co-op mode. But watch out, you can pop your friend's balloons too. There's also a balloon trip mode which tests your finger tapping skills against lightning bolts while collecting balloons. If this game looks familiar, it should. You can nab the Balloon Fighter trophy in Super Smash Bros. Melee, as well as use the Flipper item in-game. If you have a Wii, you can pick this game up for only 500 Wii points on the Virtual Console.